I'm Janelle Guillot, elementary counselor. Let's start with a mindfulness exercise. This is a good simple one you can use anytime you feel frustrated or annoyed or upset. So put one finger in the air like this, put your other hand out like this, put your finger at your wrist at the bottom of your thumb and breathe in, and then breathe out and go to the other side. Breathe in and breathe out slow. Breathe in and breathe out. In, breathe out slow. You can breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Sometimes that's good when you're trying to go to sleep at night or any other time when you just want to settle your mind. Anyway, last week you learned about how our thoughts can affect our feelings and our behaviors. Would anyone like to share what they remembered from that activity? Raise your hand if you'd like to share, and your teacher will call on you. Good. Okay, today we're going to learn another way to make your mind even more powerful. It's a superpower called empathy. I'm sure you've heard about it before. We'll learn in detail what empathy is. We'll learn that people feel different ways about the same things. And we'll learn ways to make your empathy skills even stronger. I call empathy a superpower because it can make all relationships in your life stronger and better. Your relationships with your friends, classmates, neighbors, teachers, parents, even yourself, so just about anyone. The better your relationships are, the happier your life will be. So empathy is basically paying attention to how others might be feeling and why they might be feeling that way. And then we can act on it or not. Just seeking to understand someone else is the beautiful part. Put your thumbs up if you can remember a time when you were upset or worried and someone really tried to understand or tried to get how you were feeling. Put your thumbs up if you can remember a time like that. Put 2 thumbs up if that felt really good. Nice. To learn more about empathy, we're going to pay attention not only to how we think and feel, but also how others think and feel. Put your thumbs up if you can guess why it's important to understand other people's feelings and point of view. Raise your hand if you'd like to share, and your teacher will call on you. You might have said something like, so we know what they're going through, or we know how to support them. So we don't say something to hurt their feelings, or so we can have better friendships with people, or something else. When someone understands another person's feelings and thoughts, it's called empathy. Put your thumbs up if you can remember a time when you felt empathy for someone. We often feel empathy lots of times without even noticing. Empathy involves 2 skills: identifying how someone feels and understanding someone's point of view or what they might be thinking. When we're able to do these 2 things, we can respond to that person in an understanding way. So, empathy is kind of like a superpower. It gives you power to understand and connect with others. This superpower makes your relationships more powerful with friends, teammates, adults, even with your future boss. So let's think about the first empathy skill, identifying how someone feels. How can we tell what a person is feeling? You probably already know. Raise your hand if you'd like to share. So you might have said something like the tone of voice. Was it shaky? Was it soft? Was it loud? You can tell a lot from the tone of voice. Or maybe you said their facial expressions, though that would be hard to do with a mask. So you have to look closely at the eyes or forehead wrinkles. You can also tell by body language. If someone's folding their arms or looking down, or maybe they're hiding their face or covering their mouth, that can give you some clues. Or maybe by their actions, maybe throwing something or stomping away, or trying to look really small. That can give you a good idea. So let's think about the second empathy skill. This one might be a little bit harder, and it's more practice, you'll get better at it. And that is understanding someone's perspective. That's kind of how they see things. Remember when we talked about our thought bubbles in the last lesson? Not everyone thought the same thought when faced with the same situation. Like if the teacher asked a student to sing in front of the class, some kids might be excited. I would have been nervous. Or maybe the kid who was excited feels really confident about their voice. So different situations, people will feel different ways. Let's see how people might have different perspectives, even when we think we're looking at the same things. I'm going to show you 4 pictures. Look at each picture and note what you see, but don't tell anyone, don't call out, and then we'll talk about it in a second. So let's look at the pictures. So look at this picture. What do you see in this picture? Put one finger up if you see a duck. Put 2 fingers up if you see a rabbit. Sometimes we need someone to point out what they're seeing if it's different than us. Do you see the ears for a rabbit, and there's the eye of the rabbit, the nose of the rabbit? Or if you saw a duck, maybe this is the bill of the duck, and there's the eye of the duck, and the back of the head of the duck. So sometimes it takes a little bit of someone pointing out what they see so that we can see that too. Here's another picture. Take a look at this picture. What do you see? Put one finger up if you see a young woman. Put 2 fingers up if you see an old woman. And again, if you saw the young woman, here is a little nose for her, eyelashes, and maybe her ear, and this is her hair and a hat. Now, if you saw an older woman, you probably saw this as her nose. Here's her chin and her mouth and her eyes right there. Maybe this is her bonnet. So sometimes we need a little help to see something that someone else sees that we don't see. So here's another picture. What do you see in this picture? Put one finger up if you saw a vase. Put 2 fingers up if you saw 2 faces. Okay, and here's outline of one face and the other face, and the black would be the vase if you saw it that way. So here's our last picture. Are they seeing the same thing? Why aren't they seeing the same thing? Can you see how it is possible to see different things when viewing the same picture or seeing different perspectives about the same problem? Put your thumbs up if this has ever happened to you, where you and another person had opposing views and you each thought you were right. Maybe this happened with a teacher or a friend. Maybe it happened with someone at home, a brother, sister, parent. Sometimes going around to their side and really looking at how they are seeing things can really help you be empathetic to what they're experiencing. This is an incredible skill for solving conflicts. Just seeing it from their side might change everything. And maybe if they tried to see it from your side, would change everything. So try this with your parents sometimes and see what happens. Okay, let's do some empathy exercises and make our empathy muscles even stronger. Let's say Melissa just found out that her best friend is moving away. What might she be feeling? What might she be thinking? Put your thumbs up if you have a good guess of what she might be feeling or thinking. So Melissa might be feeling sad and disappointed and wishes her friend wasn't moving away. What could you say to Melissa to show her that you understood how she felt? Raise your hand if you'd like to share. Do you think that that would help her feel supported and understood? It feels good when we feel supported and understood. It's important that we ask for feedback because everyone's different. Some things we may say may seem supportive to one person, but not supportive to another. I wonder if you can think of any examples when you thought you were saying something supportive and the other person kind of didn't feel it was very supportive. Don't worry, we get it wrong. Just keep trying. The more you get to know people and the more you practice, you'll get better and better. So let's think of another situation. Imagine that a friend of yours mom came down with COVID. What would you say or do to help that friend know that you kind of understood what they might going through or that you support them in some way? Put your thumbs up if you can think of something you might say or do. As we get to know people, we'll have a better understanding of how to respond, but it takes practice and we might not get it right all the time, but the fact that you were trying, that counts for a lot. So what can we do if we're unsure of someone's perspective or unsure of what they need? Right? Ask them. Sometimes we have to guess why someone is feeling and acting a certain way. Sometimes we have a good idea, and sometimes we'll never find out if we're right. Sometimes we will. It's good to guess anyway. And as long as you're guessing, guess in a positive way. Guess in a way that might make you feel better about that person. For example, a classmate walked right by you, looking down without saying hello. Your feelings are a bit hurt. What's your empathy guess? The kid does not like you and never wants to talk with you again. Maybe they're upset because something might be wrong with their family. Maybe they ate something that's making them sick. It could be any one of those. Which guess would give you the better feeling about that person? What might you ask them if you want to help? Are you okay? This way, they might tell you what the problem is, and then you'll have a better idea. We aren't going to be right all the time, but the more you guess, the better you will get. Try practicing positive empathy every day. It actually makes you feel better. Like, for example, what if a car cut off your parents on the freeway? We could guess, oh, they don't know how to drive. Or we could guess, oh my goodness, maybe they're on their way to the hospital. What would make you feel better about that situation? Can't change it, but sometimes how we think about the situation can make us feel better. So another way that you can practice empathy is when you're around other people. Kind of guess what they're feeling and why they might be feeling that way, what they're thinking. When you watch a movie, try and guess what the actors are feeling, body language, face, and try and guess why they might be feeling that way, kind of using clues from the situation they're in. The more you practice, the better you will get, the more you'll notice, and it will help in all the relationships in your life. So we talked about the 2 skills of empathy today. Put your thumbs up if you can remember what they are. Do you think it's difficult to show empathy for others who are different from you? Maybe someone older or younger, maybe someone from a different culture. Why do you think it would be hard, or why wouldn't it be hard? So what can we do if someone does not respond in an understanding way towards someone in this class? What will we say? Can you remember that time when you felt someone understood how you were feeling? Remember how good that felt? Imagine giving others that feeling. That is powerful. That's why empathy is a superpower. It can make a huge difference. So practice and make your empathy superpower stronger. The better you get at this, the better your relationships will be and the happier your life will be. Empathy is a key for happiness. So if you want more practice, have your teacher choose an emotion on this chart, and you can take turns sharing what might make you feel that way. You'll see that different things can make someone feel the same way. So you can take turns doing that. Otherwise, I will see you guys next lesson. So remember, practice your empathy skill. It's a superpower.